guys, so today we are going to talk about parts of your light microscope. So here we have our generic light microscope. Your microscope may look slightly different than this one, but hopefully the parts are still basically the same. So this is a light microscope. I'm going to turn it on down here at my power button. You can see that it is plugged into the wall over there at my power source, and we're going to turn it on. I'm going to start at the top and make my way down. So I've got my microscope turned on, and at the very top are going to be our oculars. This is what you're going to look through. Before you look through them though, I always tell my students, please clean them because you don't know who used it before you. So clean them with lens cleaner and lens paper, and you'll clean your oculars and you'll clean your objectives down below. Clean them before you use them. So safety first before you take a peek. So these are your oculars. When you look through these things and you look down below, they are going to magnify anything you look through them with 10 times the naked eye when you look through your oculars. And these things are going to be held on the body tube right here is what's going to hold the oculars. We have two of them, so this is a binocular microscope. Your microscope may have just one. It just depends, but this is our compound binocular light microscope. So we have two oculars, the body tube. Then if you needed to move your microscope around, I always suggest two hands. So one on the arm, there's the arm right here, and one on the base down there. So you can safely transport your microscope around the lab room safely. So we got the oculars, we got our tube, we have our arm. We are going to come down, and this is going to be our mechanical stage is right here. So if I had something I wanted to look at, so I've got my slide with the letter E, I'll put it on the mechanical stage, put it between my stage clips right here, and then you can move it. So there are two things that you need to know on how to move things on your microscope. One thing is, here's the mechanical stage. I can move the stage forwards and backwards and side to side using these. These are the mechanical stage knobs. Again, forwards, backwards, side to side using them. And then our last but not least, our very most important part right here when it's talking about moving and looking things through. This guy is your focus knobs, or your adjustment knobs. We have a coarse adjustment knob or a coarse focus knob, and then you have a fine focus knob. So if you look, I am making very large movements of the stage up on my coarse adjustment knob. And then the fine adjustment knob is going to be when you start to see it, but it's really not totally in focus yet, you go to this one. So this is your coarse adjustment knob. Your fine adjustment knob is right here. I want to show you the other parts when you're looking at stuff on the microscope. So we talked about these guys. We had the oculars, our tube, the arm, the mechanical stage, the stage knobs here that move it up and down and left and right. That's our power switch, and that was going to be our coarse focus knob, the big one, and our fine focus knob is the small one. Over here, I want to show you something else. So my microscope can adjust the light, and yours may be too, but I can make my light dimmer or I can make it brighter. So depending on the conditions on the slide and the room, I may want to fiddle with this so I can see things a little bit better. Another thing I may want to play around with is this. So hopefully you can see the light is coming from this. This is the light source. The little light bulb is inside here shining the light up this way, up through the mechanical stage through your slide, and you're going to look at it up top. But before it does that, it goes through this. So check out, this is the iris diaphragm. And what it does is it controls the beam of light that comes from the light source. So watch up above, I have a very broad beam of light. And then as I change the diaphragm, it's going to make a very narrow beam of light. So this too is another thing that you can play around with when you're looking at your slide images and trying to get the best view. When you are looking at them, you're also going to play around with the objectives. Absolutely, you're going to start on the lowest one and go to the best one that you need for your situation. So let me get a little closer. So we're on the mechanical stage, and you can see all four objectives. So I always start off with this guy right here. This is going to be my scanning objective, the scanning power. On our microscopes, they're always colored too, so scanning's always red for us. But if you look at it, all of these objectives are held right here. This is the nose piece. here is my scanning objective. Look, you can see that his little number 4. So there is 4 times the naked eye magnification with this objective right here. So if I did this objective and looked through my oculars up above, I'd have a total of 4 times 10, a total magnification of 40 using scanning power. Always start on scanning power when you're looking at something because it has a really big field of view. As you go up in magnification, so now I've gone from 4 to 10, as you go up in magnification, your field of view shrinks. This is the low power. It is always yellow on my microscopes here, and it is 10. So 10 times the naked eye with this objective, and then if you place it up with the ocular that you're looking through, you have 10 times 10 for a total of 100 with this objective. And then this one right here is our high. Our high objectives are always blue. If you look, you can see the number on the side. There it is. It's going to be number 40. So we have 40 times the naked eye with this objective. With our 10 oculars gives us a total of 400 magnification on high, the blue objective. And then if we were in like medical microbiology, if we were in that class, I would use this lens a lot, but I don't use it every day. If you need to look at something very, very small like bacteria, this is your favorite lens. So this is the oil immersion objective. And so what you would do, you would put a drop of oil in your slide, and that would connect this objective to your slide. And it allows you to get 1,000, so 100 times the 10 in the oculars, and you have 1,000 times total magnification when you use this objective and look at your slide that way. So that's the highest and best you can get on a light microscope. So those are your 4 objectives held in place by the nose piece. I got my slide on my stage clips and my mechanical stage. Here was our iris and diaphragm. There was our light source, the light bulbs underneath. We said we can control it over there, make it brighter or darker. These are also focus knobs. Coarse one is always the big one. The coarse adjustment knob is always the big one. The fine focus knob, the fine adjustment knob is always the small one. And power switch, power source, our arm, the tube, and our 2 oculars up above. So those are our parts of our light microscope.